Welcome to DR Sports, your roundup show. The king is here, sat on his throne with his crown. I am the red mist. I am the red wall. We are the red victors. But wait, before we get into this, run the thing, the fam.
It started to get all shaky, right? It's been getting a bit...
I can't believe you've done that.
It could be that, say City beat you, right? And we beat West Ham, we'd then be 5 points behind you with a game in hand.
Yeah, so it could be 2, yeah.
So then we could get it down to 2. So and then say results went along like
Big dogs!
the curse of the picture.
Paying this, you know.
Liverpool wobbling.
Yeah, I don't think Liverpool win.
Liverpool wobbling.
Man
Like we have to be honest and talk about this. Liverpool just don't look like.
Liverpool players looked a bit nervous. You know what I mean, that's what pressure brings. That's what that victory over Leicester brought.
But one thing that's given me hope, genuinely, I'm not trying to diss Arsenal, I'm really not, is the fact that you don't have strikers.
We got Mikel Marino, man. Don't worry about that. I'm going with the Desmond as well. I'm going to go 2-2.
I'm sick, 2-2's sick of them.
At the end of the game, Haaland, as I said, marching off like that, he gets
If
a
we
brace.
do win out,
No worries, they've all written us off. It's good. It's good, man. I love it.
Such a silly conversation.
Universe.
what you just seen there was a medium boil, a low, slow cooking. Yeah, that's how we do it in Liverpool. We don't jump on it. We just let them cook in their own juices, mate. And that's what Robbie did for us. Where are you, Robbie, lad? Can't see you. What's going on? Where are you, bro? Do you want to make an appearance? Hey. Silence. Can't hear nothing, lad.
I'm here. Yeah? I'm here.
Nah, you don't get to come out like Stone Cold, bro. You're out the title race, bro. What are you doing? His head's gone. His head's gone. No. Stop throwing your toys out of the pram, man.
Robbie.
Stop that, man. Man trying to kick down the door like Stone Cold Steve Austin by breaking the glass, bro.
Hey.
No.
Order.
That's not how losers move.
I am the judge.
Too much energy.
Today, I am the judge and Dory. Order in the court, yeah?
Goddamn.
Yeah, give him a laptop.
Goddamn.
Take back all his things, look.
Goddamn.
Give him a laptop.
Goddamn.
Welcome along to the weekend roundup. Oh, damn.
You're in trouble today.
Where do we start? Anyway, let me introduce to you. We've got Doyle, King Doyle. King Doyle is in the building. Although, you know what? Ours is gold. You ain't gold. You have to go unbeaten for the whole...
Tiny, that lad's
You
tiny.
used to give him that one there behind.
You have to go unbeaten for the whole season.
That's the right one.
Pause.
That looks lovely.
But we've got Doyle in the building, representing Liverpool, of course. Matisse.
Yes.
My mud brother.
Blood is in the mud.
Mud brother.
I don't know.
Man. And we've got half-mudded Flex in the building.
We didn't lose.
Right, no Abby today, right? Don't worry. It weren't me who deliberately sabotaged her car and stop her from getting in.
Because she would
I
have
don't
cooked.
believe you.
Right, she is actually sick, so Abby, get well soon. Even though I've avoided an unreal cooking probably from her,
days.
but listen, get well soon. Get well soon, quick.
you got lucky here,
to
didn't you?
Abby's not feeling too good today. So big up to Abby, but yeah, let's start. Of course, with your game yesterday. Liverpool versus Manchester City, a place that you haven't won for a very, very long time. And you went there, and it was a very comfortable win. First of all, I see the team sheet. I'm like, how many more things are going to go for these man? No Haaland, right? Haaland out of the game completely. And they got off to a fairly decent start, Manchester City. But then after that, Liverpool, ruthless. Yeah. Ruthless on the counter-attack. Got the 2 goals and then just basically defended and said, yeah, we'll catch you on the counter again if you don't behave yourself. Yeah. I thought you didn't even get into third gear. It was a comfortable win for you. I mean, what did you make of it, Doyle?
We played how we played earlier in the season, which was pragmatic, slow football, 2-meter passes, and we weren't panicking. It was a really professional away performance, exactly when we needed it. Every single individual in that team stepped up. Ibu and Virgil were a unit together. They were phenomenal. Mo Salah was his inevitable self, getting a goal and an assist. But Dominic Szoboszlai, honestly, we need to start putting more respect on this kid's name, because the stuff that he offers in that number 10 position with work rate is just unmatched in the team. I don't know anyone else that runs like him. And yesterday, he got himself a goal and assist as well. It was exactly what we needed in the moments when we needed it. It was perfect. I cannot say anything more than it was absolutely perfect. We haven't beat them, done a double over them ever, I don't think. Like we have maybe in the earlier stages of the Premier League, but not now.
Last 10 years.
Yeah.
No, not when it's mattered.
We don't do the double, lads. We don't beat them at the Etihad. We made them look like they were a crap team. We really did. It was unbelievable. We limited their chances. They didn't have any quality, really, going forward. They had that Marmouche who had an offside goal. But if you watch the offside goal, I want you to catch this. It was a beautifully set offside trap. It was. You watch all the back line sort of waiting for them to get the ball. Beautiful. It was what you just said. In control, pragmatic football, and professional enough to just get across the line without even a scratch on them, mate. I'm not even not trying to be big-headed with it. It was just genuinely exceptional. It was a team that truly went, right, pull your sleeves up. It's time to do it now. No messing about. Can't afford anything else. And the fact that you guys lost, I do believe, allowed our players to play with freedom. We no longer had that pressure, that immediate pressure anymore.
No pressure.
Yeah,
it was a free hit, wasn't it? In a way, it's like, even if you lost, with us losing, you're still in a great position. So you can just go out there and express yourself.
Yep.
That's the thing that when you don't have that pressure, that's what happens.
But also, there's a couple sides to this. Firstly, the City side, just get them out of the way. That version of City is finished.
It's
like it's well, I wouldn't say sad.
I was in as in like they are.
You know what I mean? But yeah, De Bruyne's done. You know what I mean? There's no Haaland, Doku, bottle of fizzy pop. Yeah, he got past Trent a couple of times. I get that. You know what I mean? Kashanov, to be fair, did all right considering.
Both of their wingers were brilliant, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
both of their wingers
they did all right, but they're so far off the level that they need to be at to be in a conversation with you, which is why there's that points gap. Like, you are far superior to them and treated them just like that. But on Liverpool, listen, you know my thoughts on Liverpool, obviously, but let's just talk about this properly, yeah? They've been incredible. Nobody expected them to do this. They've proven that they can win games in a multitude of styles. I've seen this Liverpool team under Slot defend deep. I've seen them press high. I've seen them play on the counter. I've seen them play on the front foot. I've seen them score set pieces. I've seen them score free kicks. You're seeing a little bit of everything. They're not wedded to, and I think Arne Slot's a perfect example of like being wedded to one particular way, but it must be this way. I've seen them come from behind. I've seen them blow teams away. I've seen them just stay in the game to make sure they don't lose. They've literally displayed every type of scenario, every type of ingredient that you need to win the Premier League. Yeah, we can talk about City dropped off and where Arsenal wasn't even really a race. We'll get to that. But you have to give them their flowers with what? £12 million investment in Chiesa that he doesn't use?
No signings.
And I look at that team and you go, he's made them better this year. He has. And actually, there's the type of characters they got. Also, with people not giving them credit for, they got like 5 captains in their squad. So I'm saying, I'm looking at Virgil van Dijk, he's captain of this country.
Endo, Robbo, Conor Bradley.
What's his name as well?
Kelly.
Is Mo Salah not captain of Egypt?
Yep.
So probably more than 5 captains. So you're Szoboszlai, Captain Hungary.
Yep.
So you're looking at a crop of players that like, they're serious guys, as well as a few of them are Premier League Hall of Famers. And it was just knitted together by Arne Slot. And they just deserve all the plaudits, man. Forget the banter, the neutral.
Honestly,
I'm still coming to terms with it. The 20, all of that. I got separate shows to do for all of that. But you have to just go.
But you know what it is as well? It's like it's a 4-3-3. I mean, I know in this game they packed the midfield. They went with four midfielders. And initially you're looking at it, you're thinking, City are susceptible defensively. Why don't you throw another attacker on there? But he just suffocated City. He said, listen, we're not going to let you breathe. We're not going to let you create. And we've got this magical gem who's having a record-breaking season and should be getting a Ballon d'Or as long as Liverpool deliver what they should in the Champions League. He was on his own in that attack. I'm seeing him come back to help Trent. I'm seeing him up there going up against 2-3 defenders. He's got a goal. He's got an assist. And you just have to take your hat off to him because no striker to play off. Diaz is all the way on the other flank, who's had not a great game. It was a remarkable performance, and like you said, it's just usually for Liverpool, it's just a 4-3-3. Your fullbacks go up and down, your wingers come inside. You got 2 8s, you got a sitter. None of this inverting shit. None of this false 10.
Or what the new football thing is and all that.
Bro, none of this full back into the half
100%.
space, striker into the
None
DM.
of that technical stuff,
None of
bro.
this centre back to the wide receiver, go long for the... Bro, just...
And that's
everything's
why you have to respect it more, yeah, because in this modern day, there is, like you say, Matisse, there's so much made of all of this stuff. Like I say, wedded to one way of doing things. It must be this, it must be that. Arne Slot's wedded to adaptation.
Yep.
Arne Slot's, obviously, he's wedded to winning, but he's wedded to getting the best out of what the strengths of his players are. Not, my philosophy is this from when I was at finals, so I'm going to do this and I have to do this. No, he's realised there's certain games. I've seen Liverpool losing against Southampton. I mean, hanging on against Fulham, hanging on against Wolves. They haven't... Liverpool, this is not the same type of Liverpool under Klopp where, like, when they have been going to the league, they're like, they've stormed it in a different way. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're taking a slow cruise to the title now because you're in cruise control. But the actual types of performances, it's not like Liverpool just come and rush you off the place. It actually hasn't been that. It's just there's an element of control over the games. There's an element of understanding about their strengths, and like when they like face some adversity as well. Yeah, listen, I'm always on to Van Dijk just because it's me, innit? Man United, I don't really like giving him his flowers. Every minute I'm seeing him. Yeah, I was just watching him yesterday. I thought, let me just. Kanate's got the ball there. He's going like this. He's going, you don't worry, there, over there, stop.
Alisson flap, catch.
He's going, you're going to catch that next time. Yeah, come and catch it. He's just calming. He's orchestrating everything as much as in his own thing as well. No one ain't getting past. I ain't giving the ball away. I ain't messing up a clearance. I'll chip him with some goals. Just, I can't, and I hate doing this.
Calm as your life, lad.
You know what? The thing is, City lack that now.
100%.
They used to have that.
No real leaders.
Remember they used to that used to be like Vincent Kompany back in the day, and they don't really have that. And you know, with Man City, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, and you know what? Even you could even put Arsenal into this as well, right? And are we seeing the end? I think I heard Gary Neville sort of say this on. Are we seeing the end now of this possession-based football where it's just like you just
because Pep's going to rebuild his team.
And also, but our teams, we'll get to our game, but all these teams that just have loads of possession, loads of things, just go out wide, try and swing it in. But the teams now, they are able to deploy these low blocks now, right, or these defensive formations that it is so hard to break down. That, like you said, with Liverpool, they've come up with different methods. But when it's City, they've still only got one way of playing, haven't they?
I think for me, it's the quality of the players, because if you're going to play that style of play, you still need magicians. You still need someone that can unlock the door. We just spoke about De Bruyne, how he's done. Legend, icon.
Shame to see, man.
Hall of
the way he's
Famer.
going out as well.
But the way he's going out, summertime, time to go. Foden, not good this season. Odegaard, not where he needs to be this season. You still need lock pickers. So if you're going to play this high possession game and you don't have individual brilliance and or individual levels of high IQ, it's not going to work.
So if you don't have Bruno,
it's just going to be bland and boring, right? And this Liverpool.
That's what it means someone like Bruno just.
Did you just say Bruno?
Yeah, no, because you're saying like impact.
Did you just say Bruno?
Nah,
did you just try and bring?
Get back to Liverpool though. Get back to Liverpool. Yeah, get back.
Anyway, and Liverpool don't really have loads of lock pickers in the midfield.
We don't.
You don't.
No.
That's the one thing I look at. Like maybe a Jones. Could you get maybe a more creative player in there or something like that? But Liverpool just do it differently. They say, listen.
But that's classic Liverpool as well, though.
Yeah.
When you had Wijnaldum, Fabinho and
Henderson again.
There's no lock picker.
We don't go through the middle. We went round the sides with Klopp. In this slot system, we play right through the middle, which is why he started to add Curtis Jones in the middle of the park, because teams were noticing that and stopping us playing, and that's why we were getting so many draws. That is literally what's been happening. But it's players like Dom Szoboszlai, I keep reiterating it. He wins the ball back so much at the top of the pitch.
Works.
Most of our chances create already. We're already in on goal because he's tackled somebody in the right position. It's a massive difference, lad. And the team is exactly what you said. Very adaptable. He's come in with the exact same group of players that Jurgen Klopp has managed last year and done the exact right thing. And I want to thank Jurgen Klopp for that, right? Because he's obviously looked at that team and went, I can't get as much as I want to out of this team because I am shattered. I need to just give it to somebody else before this team is gone. And he's come in and he's got a box of tricks, mate. And I'm not disrespecting any managers, but I do think some players are put into managerial positions in big clubs too early. And I honestly think Arteta is sort of one of them. He's definitely a good manager and he's definitely done a good job, but he doesn't have the box of tricks he needs to be dynamic enough to beat every team in the Premier League, because you have to play differently with every single team. If you're playing Wolves, you play different. If you play Man City, you play different. You just got to be super dynamic. And I love that Arne Slot doesn't have a big ego, or he's not clueless on this. He knows what he's doing. He's come in and just steadied the ship and went, you're already good, just play it this way.
I feel like he's respected the league as well.
He has.
I think he's respected it by going, he knows obviously he's got good players and some great players, like I say, Hall of Famers, but that level of like looking at the rest of the league and looking at the demands of like per game, and that's why I think you're seeing Liverpool in a reflection of him, which is almost like this humble nature of like, we can't quite play like this in this moment. Let's do this. We can't quite do this now. Let's do that.
He's tamed the emotion. So what Jurgen Klopp did was come in and give this club energy again, made us believe that we are a good football club again, right? Yeah. And now we're full of this wonderful, victorious energy, and we want the glory again. We want trophies. And he's come in and went, let's calm down a little bit. This is what's stopping us from winning the trophies. So let me use this emotion and make it professional for us to create stability in the club. And that's why we're conceding less goals.
It's impossible not to think of that Klopp speech, isn't it? That Klopp speech where he said, listen, this is your new manager.
Yeah.
You need to back him. And he's like, oh, no, Slot. Honestly. And then you fast forward now and he's winning the league.
Like, I don't even want to do that stuff on this show.
It's mad, isn't it?
Listen, we've got...
It's mad when you think about it, bro.
For quite a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to get ready for this one.
AGT has got a message.
He's coming.
It's happened again. Arsenal bottled it. And Liverpool are proving once again why we are the best team in the world right now. And we deserved that win. It was a training session. Took the piss. And we're closing in on 20 titles. And flex, wait until we get 21. Yeah? You sausage. Abby, big you up. You've been supporting Liverpool all season. I don't like the accusations from yourself that you said I made that picture. The picture's been made. And they predicted the future. Doyle, you go into that calf today with your chest out and your head held high, my brother. Don't let anyone chat to you, because no one can. No one can chat to me or Doyle. Matisse, I like your little trade offer. We'll take you, that's fine. But Robbie must hold this, and Flex must hold this equally as well. I can't wait to be back and rub it in all of your faces. But like I said, gotta be a bit careful here. At the top, it's just us. Arne Slot, you bold genius. And everyone's saying, AGT's jinxed it. AGT's jinxed it. Where are you now? Where are you now, you bunch of bedwetting sausages? Hold. Alex, lad, you need to get back. We're losing all these games, lad, whilst you're in Thailand. No. And Matty Renton, I'll see you on Wednesday as well. But for now, just enjoy the view, people. Because at the top...
This is good. Why didn't someone just push him off that balcony?
I was hoping he'd chuck himself.
Push him off, man. I must have a man. I know it in Thailand.
Look at Thai man just coming.
One little link. Yeah, we've got to get onto a link. I say, yo, see, hey, the boy,
big old Gilly,
this is the location. All right, get out there on that balcony. Just have him dangle him. Don't throw him off. Right, we don't know. No one could murder. Let's dangle him.
He'll still have the confidence, lad. There. We all know Gilly. Even if he's hanging off that balcony, he'll still have the confidence. He'll still be saying, "At the top is Chatters. Love you, lad. Is right."
All right, let me get into some super chats. Medical Bunker says, "Hold out, Robbie. You wish you were us. Hold that flex. 20 titles, twice as many Champions League as your circus club. Abby, cautiously support us." Easy with that Spurs jinx. Medical Bunker says, AGT, we needed more framed champions photos. Big up to Timmy Erickson, who's now a new gold member. Remember, you can join us as a member. Stephen Ireland's grandmother says, Robbie, can we please have extra time to vote for the sausage of the week today? I heard they've closed voting on that.
Already.
They've closed the voting on it because I think we know who's going to get it. Second again, Ole says Malinsky, right? That's what the West Ham fans are singing. DSY LFC says it's not done yet. It is, but it feels like a title-defining weekend. That Mourinho Golden Boot run is dead after a week. Rest in piss, he says, respectfully. KDB and Salah are the same age. Let that sink in, says Sebastian. I didn't know that. Michael Fagan says, for Arteta, a loser forever, whatever the weather, right? Adam T99 says, my son's in Little League and just turned 5 today, and they won the league. Big him up. Crazy Arteta started Arsenal before my son was born. My little man won his league. Won it before Arteta. Big him up, though. Andy Miles says, who's also a goal member, says, oh, my God, what a result on Saturday. The 1 week I don't back my West Ham on the Fair Play app, but still on the leaderboard. Learn my lesson. Love the show, as always. Big up to you. Philip says, if they lose to City, if we beat West Ham, Robbie, I don't do if buts or maybes. I do absolutes. Your team is a bunch of pussyo bottle jobs. So hold that. Congrats to Liverpool for winning the league. It's over now. We ask ourselves, who is behind the failure of not winning the league? I blame the board still, says Alex. Ugarte, Robbie, seriously? Says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the relevance of that? Sayed says, I have no idea why we don't sim the rest of the Premier League season and only play the cups now, to be honest, and open the transfer window. Black Hole says, season 1 of Mikel versus Slot are not a fair comparison, but Mikel's 5th versus Slot first surely is. If Arne Slot adapted a settled squad, by that logic, so did Mikel coming into his 5th season, adapted his own. You've got to, listen, I don't think even then you can compare that, right? Because Arne Slot has had a brilliant season, but he has had an injury-free with all the big guys. You know what I mean? That's one thing. The only thing I give Arteta for this season is, if you are missing Saka for like mega portions of the season, you miss, Odegaard for 3 months. You miss Ben White, who is a fixture, for 3 months.
You miss the striker all season.
Well, the striker thing's that's self-inflicted. That one I'm not giving. But you miss
the whole year. You didn't have one of those.
Yeah,
we did have injuries.
You're now missing Havertz till the end of the season, Jesus till the end of the season. Those have to be taken. Even Liverpool wouldn't have been as fluent as they were, missing those big names. So
and Salah's
that's
never.
Too
but
harsh.
We did. But Liverpool still had injuries. Ibu, Alisson, Trent.
Yeah, Carragher was in for ages.
For ages, lad. Jota.
Come on, not the same. And they're not long-term season-ending.
2-3 months, some of them were. Some of them were 2 months.
You haven't had...
Ibu was 2 months. 3 months. Ibu Kanate.
They had their injuries, mate.
Yeah.
2 months,
You just didn't notice because that's how bloody good they are.
Yeah. But there's been other players in Arsenal that have been injured as well.
Are you right? You're right. You've had more injuries.
Players, key players. So I think that's a bit harsh to say it exactly like that. It would have been really interesting if we had had a season like last year where everybody's kind of injury-free.
We did get a lot of things going our way, definitely. We have.
Ryan says, difference between Liverpool and most of the teams is the mentality. Endo knows he may not play, but he doesn't complain. He does a job. Toby Fraser says, Arsenal can't handle the pressure, way too emotional. Who is Greg says, Liverpool get number 20, and people need to stop lying about United being the biggest club in England. It's Liverpool. Rex, do you reckon?
Biggest, most successful. Biggest will always is United. Will always be United.
Is it?
Yeah, but the biggest.
If they get the 20.
But we're talking about most successful. Well,
if they get the 20.
But why? But I was saying this to text today. Obviously, if they wasn't deemed more successful than Man United before this, and now they're equaled the titles. Why are they?
We've got more major trophies.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you wasn't considered that just before equaling us. So that means you must have always been it then.
I mean, Liverpool fans always thought they're the best club
there
in
you
the
go.
world.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to surpass. Need 21. Need 21.
When they surpass you, because they're going to win a title before you,
they'll momentarily be the most successful.
Is it wraps?
Is everyone win ours?
No,
no,
that's not happening, lad. Stop that, kid.
Stop. We've been on the mantelpiece. So Alex said,
no,
off their perch.
No,
we did. And then now we're back off it.
No.
When they surpass your titles, is it set now? They're bigger.
No, more successful.
Brother.
More successful.
When's the next time?
I will never say Liverpool are a bigger football club than my football club.
When are you going to win the league next?
Never.
They're not.
I will turn full tie in this rascal. I will never say you're bigger.
When are you? I will never say tie.
You would never be a bigger football club than us.
All right. So when are you going to win the league next?
Not for a very long.
Give us amount of years.
I don't know, Doyle.
And how many are Liverpool going to win in them years?
Yeah.
Minimum 5 years away.
Biggest club in the country, Liverpool.
I'd say 4. No, it'd be the most successful. Not the biggest. Not the biggest.
All right, Brenner Gamer says, Robbie, if you're ever feeling down, remember it's raining. You just paid to become a gold member. Need to see Arsenal and Chelsea cooking. YNWA. Big up to Norashen. Also, AJ. Oops, that one just jumped on me. AJ says, Mr. Flip Flop Flex now wants Amorim to do what Ten Hag did at United. He'll be Amorim out by April for sure. Jack says, how much scarier do Liverpool get for other teams if they go big in the summer for someone like Isak? Love you, Doyle. YNWA. And we've got Medical Bunker says, injury argument is weak. Champions have depth. Key players, no matter who you are. We saw yesterday without Ireland. That ain't the same. Even though Marmoush,
no, it's true.
He did all right.
Yeah, he tried. He tried.
But it's not the same.
There's individuals.
Lewis says, TalkSport Abbey has higher demands for Arsenal than any other top 6 teams. They had more experienced managers and more quality players and spent more money. The board are ops at the club. Medical Bunker says, Flex, look who you sign and finish. Liverpool is bigger now. Woodsy says Jota 3 million, Elliott 4 million, Invisible Ali 3 million, Kanate 4W.
4 weeks. Oh no, he's saying so. Jota was out for 3 months. Elliott's been out for 4 months. Chiesa's been just not there. Yeah. Ali's been out for 3 months, and Kanate was out for 4 weeks.
Kanate and Alisson,
yeah.
And Jota's a big player for them as well.
Trent also.
You've got great depth for that, but
Jota's a big player for them.
Yeah,
massive player for us.
Well, he's not a starter.
He would be a starter.
Jota's always injured for them.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Marlo Copperfield says, moment of the weekend: Ward-Prowse and Raya foot race. Right, that was incredible. Adam T99 says Mo Salah has 25 goals and 16 assists in the Premier League so far, and 11 games still to go. Forget 20G or 20A. Salah could be on 30G and 20A this season. He's been incredible. Carl Bates says Kieran Maguire argued that Man United are the biggest club in England. He based this on the biggest stadium, largest fan base, biggest revenue amongst others.
That's what I'm saying, most successful, because bigger means a lot of things.
Right. Alan gives man a beard, says Rob, you should love the new Champions League format. It's not often Arsenal play more than 8 games in it. Woodsy says also Trent 1M, 1 month, I guess he means there.
Conor Bradley, love
and
you,
Gomez, season over Gomez. These are not key. It's not Saka, is it? Not
right,
Salah. The equivalent to you would be
Salah or Virgil. Salah or Virgil, yeah.
Lou says, this is why I love footy. Last week we were crumbling, apparently. Let's not forget as well, we had major injuries. They did. Alisson, etc. Arsenal spent 700 million and plus no backup. Let me just do a couple more before we get back into it. Alisson, medical bug of cover. Alisson, Kanate, Jota, Raya equals Raya, Gabriel, Havertz injuries. You forgot Saka there.
Yeah, that's the one. It's Saka. Saka is the one that you just need to talk. That's the only one for me.
Jesus out for the season as well. If you're missing them, Arsenal would play the same violin. You don't have depth. You don't have the depth of champions. And let me do this one before we move on. What's the next excuse for Arsenal fans? Robbie, not making any excuses about Saturday. That performance by Arsenal was absolutely atrocious. I remember after the first half, I sat there. He's got his bubbles going. I sat there after the first half thinking to myself,
bring it closer, bro. Closer.
There's not even that many bubbles.
No, there isn't. But it's enough.
It's one of the props. Like, we've got to use the props.
Nah, it's flopped. Not enough bubbles.
There you go, lad. No,
it's basically like
you know what it is?
It was just enough.
It's a reputation. It's a representation of Arsenal's title run.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't do bubbles, man. But that. Yeah, I mean, that's West Ham. Now, what it is, after that first half, I'm like, are we going to do this again? Only playing one half. Right? They defended brilliantly, West Ham. Right? As I said, sort of what I was saying earlier, that, you know, the difficulty of breaking down these low block teams. We couldn't do it. We've got nothing really in reserve to bring on. Because that's the thing that upset me about that game. Is that you see these games all the time. Games where you're struggling to break a team down. What you then have to do is you have to make changes and bring on a few attackers. That's what you guys have got to change it. We ain't got no one. The only person we could bring on was Sterling. Nobody else. No other attacking player on that bench. But even so, even taking, and I'll get to that bit in a minute, right? But the performance of the players simply was not good enough. We had a chance to put Liverpool under pressure, right? And we just, that performance there, I was shocked. I've seen some bad performances by Arsenal over the years, but I was shocked. I'm like, this game should be like a cup final. Every game, every Premier League game now, till the end of the season for Arsenal, needed to be like a cup final. And I'm like, that's not a cup final. That's not, I don't see nobody sprinting. I just see everybody just casually passing the ball around, just thinking to himself, yeah, it's going to come eventually. And we got done. And I think as well, deservedly so. I can't make a case for Arsenal winning that game. And it was just an absolutely diabolical performance by Arsenal, and they bottled it. You guys put all the bottles up at the start of the thing. I don't like using that word bottle, but on this occasion, we absolutely bottled it.
That's the first time I've ever heard
Robbie say that. Yeah, because you always, that word bottle, you always push back on that word.
Exactly, you know I like to push back on it.
That last season.
I like to defend my team as much as I possibly can. That's indefensible. They bottled it.
Fair play, Robbie.
They bottled it. It's like, put pressure on. Nobody... I did a video, I said, we bottled it on the pitch, we bottled it in the boardroom. First of all, pitch, bottled it. Bottled it. Then now, I said in January, I said, if we don't buy a striker, we're not going to win the league. Even though you heard me pushing up my chest last week, underneath there, there's bare fear. Because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, Mika Marino came on and did that last week, but boy, can he...
Since you play against a proper team.
Can he keep doing that from now till the end of the season? Yeah. Who's gonna step up and do that? Someone's going to have to be a superhero for us to do this, because we've got no forward players. And I know the players that we got. Ethan Nwaneri, unbelievable talent, but he's 17.
Yeah, it's not
fair.
Fair.
Cramping
not
up.
fair.
Yeah.
About 80
Can't
minutes
expect him
into
to
the
play
game.
at that level.
You're not even used to playing week in, week out. Leandro Trossard, very good player, right? But he's a moments guy, right? He's a guy that, like, he'll have 3 good games, and then the next game you're like, oh, what happened to Leandro?
He was a super sub before he started being the main guy.
He does his best stuff off the bench, right? That's what we're relying on. And then Mika Marino, who's not a striker, who said last week that was the first time he's ever played that position, right? And then Raheem Sterling, who's terribly off form. That's what we're relying on. And I look on it and I say to myself, me at the weekend, I'm sitting and I'm reflecting on after that game, even yesterday. Like, bun me, man. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, actually, you know what? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what if we had got in some attacking players, right? And I look at what Villa did, right? And when these board guys are saying, oh, we didn't get no one because there was no one out there. We tried to get Ollie Watkins, but it was the amount of money. All right. Even if you thought the money was too much for Ollie Watkins, what about a player like Marco Asensio, who was linked with a move away from PSG, all transfer window. From the start of the window, him and Kolo Muani, they're pushing him out there. They're pushing him out there to you guys, Chelsea. They're pushing him out there.
But if you've got another 10 now, if you've got Marco Asensio now, wouldn't you be like,
no, but
but where's our strike? How does that help?
Hold on, Flex. Hold on. You get to the point, right? So you're getting to a point. It weren't just striker we need. We need forward players as well. So I'm like, at least get a forward player, right? Marco Asensio is on loan at Villa with no obligation to buy.
Kolo Muani's the one you should have
moved. Kolo Muani's on loan to Juventus with no obligation to buy. It's not like there've probably been some sort of loan fee.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the Arsenal, we don't want to pay 5 million loan fee or what. I looked on it, I said to her, they can't make excuses to say the players weren't available. Even Rashford, they could have, even though we got 2
Rashford was the one where we're looking at going,
a lot of people were saying Arsenal, why not? But they didn't want to hear it.
Even though we got 2 English, even though we got 2 English loan players, so you're only allowed to have 2. But what they could have done is they could have made Neto's deal permanent, which would only have been a couple of million, and then brought in Rashford on loan. There's ways that they could have done.
Yeah.
And I looked on it yesterday. I'm thinking to myself, because I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, what if we'd have brought in a couple of? It's not to say that we're going to win the league still. Liverpool's still probably going to win the league. But at least we pushed them. And you never know if you put pressure on. But then I said to myself, actually, I'm sitting there thinking this, and many, many other fans are thinking this. Whereas those guys in the board at Arsenal are probably saying, see, that's why we didn't spend the money. Because look, we got no chance of winning it anyway. So why go there? We'll just wait till the summer. And I think that that's the mentality. They're not winners.
They've let you down.
Those guys at the top there, right, are not winners. They don't want to win this thing because they didn't gamble. They didn't take a chance. And yes, Liverpool have been brilliant this season. They've only lost one game. And, you know, you could even go out there and do that and still not win it. But at least you tried. And this is why fans are so upset at the moment, because they didn't try. They made no effort, right? Once all those injuries happened and these players went down to go and win the league. They just waved the white flag on the season. That's what. How are we going to win the Champions League with that team as well?
No chance.
Even if they're looking at it and thinking, well, even if we get past PSV, how is that team?
Either Hala Madrid.
Yeah.
How is that team going to get past Atletico or Real Madrid? Come on, I'm just a ordinary football fan. You guys are football fans. We think we know a bit about football, but we're not. We all know that. Yeah. These guys are so-called experts with data and everything in front of them. Do they honestly look at... This is where I say to myself, do they honestly sit down and look and think, oh, we've got enough to win the league? How can they? So that shows me that they've just basically said, yeah, we give up on this until next year.
Even Arteta changed
It's
his team.
shocking.
Arteta said at the beginning of the window, happy to score. Then I think after the Jesus one, he was like, we need players. We're doing everything we can. Yeah. And all of this stuff.
He was coming out, but listen, I don't know if he's culpable in it as well.
Yeah,
but
you don't know.
He kept coming out and saying, we got to get a forward, But as I said, with all the data, with all the information, they'll have all the data, they'll have all the information, they'll have all the information on who's available, what it will take to get that person, all of that, and they did nothing.
Do you know what? It's also shocking. Like you said, it's shocking to give up on the Champions League because that's effectively what they've done. Why? Why would you not chase the unthinkable? You're in the Champions League. If you're not in it to win it, why are you there? Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
if you're not in it to win it, why are you there?
I said after January, I said, if we did win anything, I still don't even think I'd give them any credit for it because it's just luck.
Mm. Oh, no, you couldn't give them credit for it. Yeah, no,
because basically you've just rolled.
It's luck. All on Arteta.
So it'd be like, right, I'm hopefully...
Well, it's interesting you say
hopefully this player might come back, or hopefully...
It's interesting you say about luck here, because I'm thinking about, and you can enlighten me on this, and Arsenal fans can as well. I'm looking at the planning of Arsenal and the lack of succession of planning. You're saying from January.
I was going to say something.
You know what I'm saying? No, they needed this. You needed that from the summer of that, the summer before that. You know what I mean? So when you look at all these things, and I was talking about luck, I'm going, well, it feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how I'm seeing this. It looks like with the Lewis Skelly thing, I'm going, stumbled on one there. I don't think they thought he would be that good there.
No, of course.
Yeah. So it weren't like that he was earmarked to bust through the door like this.
Even Nwaneri.
That's what I was going to get to next.
Even Nwaneri's supposed to come through as,
you know what I'm saying? Slowly. Yeah. So you stumble. So really what Arteta's done, all of the decision makers, we don't know how much percentage of blame to attribute at each person's doorstep. But let's talk about them collectively. What Arsenal have done have not understood like what they have within their ranks, then spent money wrongly in the summer and prioritised wrong. Because if you know you got this Lewis Skelly kid coming through and you're going, listen, we don't need to go and buy no Calafiori, man. This kid, give him a few months.
No, they didn't know nothing about Skelly. Skelly.
That's what it says. They didn't know nothing about him.
Lewis Skelly is a midfield player.
So he just came through. What was it through injury? Why did he play?
Injury.
That's the only reason he got game.
Only reason.
And then he went, Ross, look how good he is.
Only reason we had nobody. Remember, even down to Kieran Tierney. At that time, was still coming back from his big hamstring injury, and Timber was injured. We had nobody.
So there was no left backs.
Yeah, so that's how he got the opportunity.
Right, okay.
So that was just, they've come across it. Yeah. It does happen sometimes.
Yeah. And Nwaneri, gave him a debut last year, but he wasn't supposed to be here now,
yeah, and both of them were involved in the first team. They were in pre-season. Yeah. They're playing. They look really, really good. They were going to be involved. But they wouldn't be starting. It's because of injuries.
My argument, right, is you haven't planned properly, right? Yeah. Because you just went to win the league with defence and its mission failed.
No, listen. So the first one's on Arteta for the summer, because universally everybody said
the priorities all wrong.
Yeah,
have to buy a striker.
Everybody.
And again, they did it again. Yeah. They said, there's nobody that we think we could get. Blah blah blah. Right, there were players we could have got. There were players who would have to push the boat out, spend money. They didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So we now. Well, when I say we, I don't think the fans.
You lot were calling for it.
I don't think the fans, but they getting what they deserve. The owners, right? Which, they don't. I don't.
Well, they don't care.
That's
you're the
We're
ones that are going to
we're
suffer.
the ones that suffer.
It's not the fans,
right?
It's
It's like I said on Saturday, right? They said let's wait till the summer. I'm here. I'm at the game on Saturday. It's February and it's cold. right? Wednesday night, I'll be in Nottingham.
And it's cold.
Nottingham Forest is cold.
Yeah.
It'll be raining, right? They'll be on a ranch somewhere in America thinking, we wait until the summer. And I don't care in the summer if they go out there and get Isak or if they go and get whoever.
Yeah, they've wasted
It's
2 years.
still not good enough what they've done, right? And basically just handed Liverpool the league. Supposed to fight of that. Fight.
It wasn't even
right.
a race. It
Fight
wasn't even a
to-
title race.
This
Fight
is
to
what
the
I want to
end.
bring up.
And
Was it a title race?
it was a title race.
Yeah, it
listen,
was.
Liverpool have been far ahead. But look, remember the scenario last week. And listen, Liverpool could still have went and won. But remember the scenario, right? Liverpool have had a little bit of a wobble, right? A few draws. Kind of let Arsenal back in, right? There has been titles won where they've been that tight. It could have been within even if they wouldn't have got within the 5 points this weekend. If they'd have won that game, still a bit of pressure on Liverpool because they're still thinking, though we could go and slip up in another game and they could get within 5. But our lack of, like you said, lack of planning, lack of sign, it's just honestly, as I said, there is no excuse because these guys sit there. They're not like us who are thinking, we do a bit of research. They've got all the data. They've got all the stats. They know how much they've got money to spend. That's the other thing as well. They have money to spend. They've made profit.
They tried a token gesture of the Ollie Watkins thing or whatever, but that shows that there's money there. They just tried to spin that.
There's
to
money
say,
to
look,
spend.
we did try to get Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this thing
Bit
about
disrespectful,
lies.
It's a bit
This
disrespectful.
lies, bro.
this thing about there's no value.
Like the Suarez.
There's no value.
Yeah, disrespectful.
There's no value in January, right? We know that. That's why you should plan from the summer. But sometimes what happens is circumstances dictate that you're going to have to go and spend. Look what City did. Now, listen, I think that City did that because they were gambling on trying to win the Champions League, right? But at least they tried.
Yeah.
All right, it ain't worked out. They got a bit unlucky because they drew Real Madrid. But at least they tried.
It weren't just that though.
I think they're just trying to make sure they get top 4.
That's what I was going to say.
And
yeah.
also they want to make sure they
and
get
it's just
invest.
they just like we wanted to probably do this rebuild in summer. Scrap that. We're starting it
Yeah,
now. 180 M's.
But our
Because they
guys,
still
Because
need
we have
more
to
in the
rebuild
summer.
this whole
Yeah,
thing.
they
again.
need more in the summer.
our guys wouldn't have done that because you can see you're in trouble. Jesus is out for the season. Second week into the January transfer window, Jesus is out for the season. Saka is out for 4 to 6 months. Everybody knows the hamstring
It's bad.
when surgery.
Bad injury.
You might get lucky and get him back by the end of April, right? So
Before we move on from Arsenal, just really quickly, there was no talk about actually have Arsenal improved in terms of the actual players who are there though.
we haven't.
Like
we haven't
handling the moments,
You've
seeing
regressed.
games out because you keep a clean sheet in this time, you can nick some games. But the defending that was for that goal from senior man.
That was shocking.
was
I mean,
not
to
good enough.
be fair,
When
the
the Aston
defending
Villa
most
thing
of the
happened-
season's actually been decent. But
then they still keep. But this you're going for
Yeah.
the title though. The
Yeah,
key
yeah,
moments.
yeah.
What we saw last time was what was it? Who
Saliba
come-
was out injured.
Yeah. I remember our Brighton come to points of us. To Fulham did us. Thing.
yeah.
Villa. That's happened again.
No, but
That's happened again.
No, but I, you know what? I'm gonna stick up a little bit for the defenders, right? That defending was shocking.
It was.
It's awful.
But we haven't seen that a lot this season, right?
That's fair.
But then sometimes, what about the attack? Because, Liverpool have had games like that. Where
Yeah, but you're just saying you ain't got none. Your defense is still
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
The main man them are still there.
This is what I'm trying to
at
say.
some point, that pressure that the defense is put under is going to crumble.
No, but what I'm
They
trying.
had 60% of the ball.
No,
against
what
but I'm talking about overall
What I'm
in
trying,
the season,
what I'm trying to
not
say,
just
Flex,
in
is
this
this,
game.
right? Liverpool have had some games as well where they've leaked goals,
Everton.
but then they can throw on man to turn it around, so they win that game 2-1. So you're not talking about the defending.
You ain't got options.
We lost that 1-0 because we got nothing in attack. So it's all on the defenders now to keep a clean sheet. And even if you keep a clean sheet, you still need to win the game.
But my thing is, I just want to finish off by saying this as well. You have absolutely no use to me anymore. I will be reverting back to wanting you to lose all the games. When I thought there was a glimmer of hope that
Well,
you
we've got
could
you
maybe,
coming up soon.
Good.
Right, let me do.
Oh, you said you wanted them to lose, lad.
I did now, but it's over. So I want them to go back to getting licks every week.
Let me do a few super chats. Christopher Box says, would Flex eat a bat to cause COVID-25 to earmark this title as COVID title? Last time Liverpool won it.
None of that.
Also,
none of them again.
This is not going to be the COVID title for sure. Red Square says, I think the final nail in the coffin for this Arsenal project will be next summer. It will be so underwhelming compared to what the fans are expecting. Then the amounts of big players' contracts are running out. Roscoe says, question for Flex, is there a big protest on Wednesday? Also, Doyle, if Salah leaves, who do you think would be fit to replace him?
Isak. I want Isak, but we're not going to get him because Liverpool don't spend that money. So it'll be someone that completely obscure that no one knows about, and he'll become a fantastic player at Liverpool. That's just usually what happens.
As we're talking about boards, not Liverpool the team, have the Liverpool board got lucky? Because I remember similar thing to Arsenal, right? Your fans were very angry in the summer because they didn't really go out and strengthen.
We didn't at all.
Arnie Slaughter's worked miracles with the team there, turned around players like Gravenberch, Gakpo, these players as well. Have they got lucky in a way? Because they didn't really strengthen either, did they?
I'm going to say no. And the reason being is they hired Arne Slot. They didn't choose him because they thought he was going to lose. They chose him because he thought he was a competent manager and good enough to lead Liverpool to lead titles. And that's their decision. They made the right one.
Is it almost going to be like, this is crazy it sounds weird to say it, but almost like it's even going to be a bigger test for him next season when he does get to spend the money.
Of course.
Especially if Salah.
We haven't seen it, have we?
Especially if like Salah and Trent and a couple of those key players go.
I mean, he's being handed a team that's capable of winning league trophies. That's just come after one of the best managers ever. But there is no doubt in my mind that nobody at all put us where we are right now. So you were saying this in the summer already. This is going to be a big test for Arne Slot, and he's passed it. So I have every confidence that when these individuals, Salah, Virgil, Trent, whoever, may leave the club, he will find solutions for us because he showed me competency already.
You can't get a like-for-like numbers, man. You can't.
Just another player.
Do you know what it is, though? The amount of credit in the bank he's going to have with Liverpool supporters after giving Virgil and Trent and Alisson and Salah their second league title, which was needed to really cement their legacy. Like Salah needs this badly. Virgil needs this. The amount of trust, loyalty, time, credit he's going to get for this next season, if it is a bit more difficult, you think Liverpool fans are going to get onto him?
Like if they finish fourth or something.
Lads, makes me want to shave my head, lads. I want to. Honestly, lad, I'll do anything.
Fans of Cash says only top gooners are Arteta cult members staying humble. A lot of us are losing interest with being a nearly club that refuses to progress. Emmanuel says Liverpool had injuries, but most of the squad is covered. Managed the load and rotated. Big up to Arne Slot. Chiesa was Salah's backup in case he got injured. Napster says this January gamble was a disaster. God forbid we spend 300 million in the summer and that fails as well. Shambolic. Cam09 says 22 defenders, 1 goalkeeper, has either the same or more GA this season than the £72 million Rasmus Højlund. Malachi, apologies for that, says Arsenal exactly what Spurs were under Poch, a nearly team. You nearly won the league 3 times in a row. There's no ambition. Saliba and Saka need to leave to get major trophies. Havertz missed 2 games. Arsenal stated Havertz is out for the season, King.
Yeah.
Right. The Ghost Knows Boxing says, Baldy, stop using injuries as an excuse. Remember what I said, yeah? This is not an excuse. I did say that right at the start, Havertz, Martinelli, only been 2 weeks. Havertz is out for the season, my brother.
Yeah.
Right? Saka was injured in December the 21st, and he's not going to be back until the end of April, my brother. At least. So I know I really don't get your point. We've got another one here. Right, let's move on.
Sorry, Robert, just quickly, they sent me some super chats that were missed. Sent me he sent me the pictures of them, so I'll just read it out quickly.
Where are they?
Victor Runnison says, rivals love to downplay how good this Liverpool team is and blame it on the league being bad. Let's not forget where people were putting us finishing before the season started.
Correct.
And Devon Fisher says, Klopp's Liverpool doesn't do this performance. Just saying. Slot is way more than we expected as a tactician. Just saying.
Correct.
And Guna Cannon 29 says, it's finished, over, done. Much love, lads.
Actually, I see some other super chats here, guys. You can't pin them. You can't put a thing on them because I haven't read them yet. Matisse Armani, when will Chelsea win again? We don't beat Copenhagen and don't get top 4. It's peak. Big up Alex calling out the ownership on Talk Sport. Liverpool, that's how you play without strikers, says Woodsey. United are better commercially, says Lou. But that won't last long. Rashford and Asensio cooked Chelsea, by the way, says Sayer. If Robbie defends Arteta, he's a coward, says Joe. Common Sense says, what's the next excuse for Arsenal fans, Robbie? And then what was the other one here? There's one other that was missed. I'll have to try and come back to it. Robbie a coward for not criticising Arteta. Facts, says Joe. I did criticise Arteta. I said that he didn't buy a striker in the summer.
He did.
So, what? Are you listening? Right. Anyway, Chelsea.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Chelsea. Because Chelsea badly needed a win.
Yeah.
In danger of not getting into the top 4 now after that loss. And you did go 1-0 up
We won't get in the top 4.
You saying it?
Yeah, we won't get in the top 4.
Where you finish then?
Like 5th is the max now for this club. Like
Well, 5th would still get you into the Champions
League.
League.
But you'd have to literally scrape it, sneak it, shit house it, whatever.
Let me just before you say that, before you get into that, I just wanted to just look at that at the league, right? Just so that people can get a sort of idea of it. So obviously Liverpool top 64 points, Arsenal second 53. But here comes that big race for the top 4 where the teams are on similar points. Forest on 47 points in 3rd. City on 44 points in 4th. 5th place, Newcastle on 44. 6th place, Bournemouth on 43. 7th place, Chelsea on 43. And Aston Villa on 42. Even Brighton are on 40 points.
And Fulham.
This
is
so
tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
Right down
5
to
points off Fulham.
right down. I'd say right down to at least 8th place. Any of those teams could get into the top 4 as well. It's only a win, and you could be right.
We're probably going to be like 3rd in a couple of weeks because we got Leicester at home and we got Southampton at home. However, after that.
You've got to come away to us.
The last says it over.
After that, it is a long day.
Talk to us.
Anything can happen.
It's
Emirates. It's Liverpool. It's all the big 6 games bar City, who we are the only club to lose to them twice this season in the top 6. All the other clubs have not lost there both times. And we lost to them both times. We have Brentford away, Newcastle away, Nottingham Forest away. We have so much coming our way. And they actually catfished me. I said it in my review. The first half or the first 30 minutes or whatever it was, the new system,
he was good.
The new players in positions with Reece James in midfield, Neto up front. The manager was cooking with that because we have a lot of players out and we had a shocking January transfer window. So he has his hands tied a little bit. But one thing we've been asking for is don't make the same mistakes. Don't put Nkunku up front again. Don't put Gusto in half spaces. Don't do things that don't work. Make it make sense. He had Gusto overlapping. Gusto defensively in this game was shambolic. He's getting ripped up all game. Rashford, when he comes on, destroys him, takes him to the cleaners.
Soul, bro, yeah.
You know the thing in Spain.
Ole!
Yeah. Ole! That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Man was seeing red. It was shocking. And then, yeah, we the thing is with us is that it's similar to you. It all boils down back to January. You look at this team. You don't have a striker in the squad. Neto up front didn't deserve to lose that game. He was making great runs off the right, up front, putting the work in, pressing. He was putting the graft in. Caicedo, I feel for, but most of them. Palmer, shocking.
I was gonna say what's
Palmer?
going on with
Palmer?
That's slick, lads.
Like
Too much,
the decision making.
What was he doing with Cartel?
The
Chilling with Vibes Cartel,
bro.
The world boss.
The decision making. The shooting.
Gaza, we say. Yeah? Gaza nation. Yeah. The teacher.
There was a moment where he could have put us ahead with that lob. You know that 1v1?
He's playing like
and he took extra touches. He took extra touches and he.
Clark's a good footballer.
That just showed.
By the way, don't diss them.
He's playing like he had on Clark.
Nah, them Clark's
No,
decent.
I'm on about the
You lot can do the laugh and joke thing. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. You lot can do the laugh and joke thing. I'm not laughing. This ain't funny.
It is.
This ain't funny.
Oh, lad, it's boss.
These man conceded in the last minute. These man dragged me all the way to the last minute to give me the same shit, the same 0 points I've been collecting week after week.
We've been telling Matisse, nah, man, change your keeper though, man. Change it, just put the other guy in.
Yeah.
Wasn't
very good, was he?
That was worse.
He wasn't very good.
So it goes back to the summer again. You didn't get a top keeper.
Oh,
you didn't. Literally this time last season, I was saying we need to address the spine. We need a striker. We need to make sure we get a proper centre back in that can lead the others, and we need to get a goalkeeper. We didn't do these things. We didn't do any of these things. We just went with understudies and young players and kids that aren't ready to perform. The bench was just all Cobham kids. He could have the manager. The one thing I will say is
Sancho's on the bench.
Yeah, he comes on. It is what it is. I'm ignoring him now. You know when there's someone else in the class, they're dashing rubbers and shit. You just have to ignore them. Like Sancho right now.
Wait.
I'm just ignoring him.
No,
I'm just ignoring.
Why
him.
are you ignoring him?
I'm ignoring a lot of these man in Cuckoo.
But he's a bargain though.
Bro,
why are you ignoring him?
Leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone.
No, wait. I just
leave me alone.
You said you had no one on the bench, that all kids. I said you got experience play like Sancho.
Yeah, but that's not what we needed in that game. When it was nip and tuck and it was 1-1 and we could have gone on and tried to win the game. It was, it was there for us. We didn't have what we needed on the bench to really worry Villa. Villa didn't see Sancho coming on the floor. Ah, shit. Shit. They brought on Rashford.
When you saw Rashford,
they brought on Rashford and they saw Gusto was already struggling. They said, we're going to go and kill you now. Yeah. Both their January recruitment signings went on to win them the game. Yeah. Sensio 2 goals, Rashford playing a part. The defending is what it is. I've said it already. They can't defend. They concede goal. Even in the first half when he was playing well, crosses just coming into the box. Crosses. Watkins, inches away. So it was always coming. Yeah. Every Chelsea fan knew at halftime, we're 1-0 up. If we do not get a second, very, very soon, we are going to not only draw, but we're probably going to lose. We know what it is. But it all goes back to January. It all goes back to the recruitment. It all goes back to how have you spent this amount of money and the squad is not balanced. We just spoke about Liverpool's leaders. Where is our leaders? We just spoke about Liverpool's world-class players. Where's our world-class players? We just spoke about Liverpool's balance and the fact that they just simplistic and effective. They got strikers. They got a goalkeeper. They got goals. They got defenders. Where's our shit? Where's our intangibles? Where is a team that in nip and tuck scenarios can say, actually, we're going to scrape it. We're going to get a shithouse win here. We're going to have a last-minute winner. Where is that? It doesn't exist. So, listen, I need players to come back. But even when and if they do come back, I'm not confident about what's up here.
Can I ask you a question, though? Like, this is banter aside.
Yeah.
The discussion online is... No, it is banter aside.
I can never trust him, lad. I can never trust him, lad.
It is. Because we made a joke out of it before, but can we talk about it seriously? Because a lot of people are saying about Cole Palmer, this is a bit of a barren spell. Does it mean one season wonder? Does it mean, now he's not that guy? Like, what? Just Cole Palmer discuss kind of thing.
There's no question for me about the quality of the player, but one thing I said last show is that he's now become a product of his environment. He was a top player for us for 18 months, carrying our attack, getting goals, leading, creating chances. The amount of chances he's created this season that have not been put away is borderline a disgrace, right? He's not got any clinical players around him. The wingers, Neto, barely any goals. Sancho, barely any goals. Jackson, shocking finishing over the winter period. Once your environment takes over, you become what is around you. And that is, for me, what has ended up happening. He was a title-winning level player. He was a player that was ready to be at the top of the table week after week with other top players around him contributing. He'd love to play with a Salah. He'd love to play with a Saka.
And he could be at that level.
He would be with them. Yeah. He's already shown. This guy in the Euros didn't even play significant minutes. He comes on against Holland in the semi-final. He scores. In the final, he scores. So what are we doing? Was that all a myth? No, it wasn't a fugazi. This guy...
Was it too early? Did we all go too early?
No, this guy is surrounded by kids.
Because he's not world-class.
He's surrounded by kids or players that are not of the level required. The board and the club keep yapping about, we don't need to make Champions League, we're ahead of schedule. So that mentality is fostering around him, and he's simply just now lowered his level.
Getting dragged down
and he's also young. So I'm not expecting this brother to be Van Dijk or Salah. I'm gonna I'm gonna ride through this shit. I'm gonna go through these people that are yapping and chatting. And January, all we're doing is signing me from Saint Etienne. Matisse, Matisse Amugu came from Saint Etienne. 19-year-old kid is sitting on the bench when Enzo and Caicedo need. How have we normalized? We've normalized not being able to substitute midfielders. The engine room of the team that is responsible for dictating and controlling games, for chasing runners, for keeping up with the tempo and the intensity. We've normalized at our club that we can't substitute our midfielders because there's no one on the bench. He doesn't trust Dewsbury Hall. He made that clear. That was a PSR move. And in January, we didn't recall any of the good midfielders we have out on loan. We've got a goalkeeper at Strasbourg that's performing better than our goalkeepers.
Kepa.
He's playing better.
He's on loan, isn't he?
It all comes from the top. If the top of your club is not serious and it's not running with the mentality to win, and it's more interested in what's the resale value, or damn, is that going to be amortized? Or damn, is that kid going to be able to move to Strasbourg in 6 months while he trains here? Because that's what this guy is doing from Saint Etienne. He's just here to train. If that's your mentality, that is going to foster down to the directors who are doing the recruitment, foster down to the manager who's talking shit. But then just before this game, he said, actually,
I was going to say,
we do need Champions League.
Yeah.
But it's when you're a parrot,
Probably
you
the
repeat.
backlash.
When you're a parrot, you repeat what is told to you. If I told a parrot one thing, it's going to say it, right? And then I say the complete contrasting opposite thing, it's going to say it the next week. But I have a memory. I remember what you said.
Well, so you think that's the board just like responding to a little bit of backlash over last week saying we better come out and show that we do want to.
You can't say when we're in the top 4, we're ahead of schedule and this is not what was expected of us this season. And then when we're out of the top 4, actually, we need to be in the top 4. You were just there. So why now was you not appreciating it when you were there? Yeah. But listen, like I said, it all fosters down and it will get to the players and it's got to the top player.
Okay, JQ with a super chat says, revisit my previous super chat about the league being more competitive or inconsistent. I'm convinced it's a bit of both. Regan says 2 questions will also get top 4. Yeah, I think they will. With that attack. Plus will Palmer leave Chelsea if they aren't in the Champions League? He's got a long contract.
A lot of people take offence to that because they say, oh, how dare Cole Palmer? How dare us talk about Cole Palmer leaving? He's not even playing well. Havertz left for Arsenal. Mason Mount didn't have a great last season. He left for Man United.
Yeah. If the right money comes in.
Clubs can see that there is a gem in an environment that is not working for him and not working for top clubs. We're not performing or acting like a top club. We're not behaving like a top club. We're saying, actually, now we don't need Champions League. Let's get Europa League and just do this incrementally. That's not top club behavior. So if we're not going to act like a top clubs are going to see the couple of top players that we have, like Caicedo, and they're going to try it. 100%. Why would they not?
Okay, so, Jono says, put that rugby guy on the field and make him earn his dollars. Which rugby guy?
We hired a rugby. We hired a rugby player who decided to retire early, so he must have been incredible at what he was doing. To come in and tell us about the mindset that we need to do better and motivate us. We don't have actual leaders that do the team talks in the change room. I'm sure Van Dijk with the orchestrating. We don't have that. We manufacture it and we find it from elsewhere. And we bring it in. Outsourcing leadership.
Tarek Beckford says, I believe that at Arsenal will decline next season if we lose Partey, Zumba, Mandy. I think he means, is he on about Zubamendi? Not the player that Arsenal needs. Question, how much players do you think Arsenal need in the summer in the Premier League? Alexander says, Paul gifted the league after Arsenal injuries and Reds.
Here it comes. No, that's not the case, is it? We're winning the league.
You're earning the league.
We've only lost 1 game.
Yeah. Nunes says, Robbie, you need to be brought up on charges for gaslighting your fan base. It's all my fault, people.
Please!
My fault. I didn't even do
Yardman. You and Yardman always arguing every week.
Yardman's got an agenda. Common sense
Yardman
says...
was spitting facts, Robbie, and you tried to shut him down.
That's what he
wouldn't let him speak so much he had to grab his own microphone.
Robbie, I told you, out, Robbie.
You think he should be out?
I think if he doesn't win anything this season, and the fact that he's had the control over who comes in and who doesn't, and the fact that he said that this was the best board in the world before he signed his contract, I think it could be a time for refreshing. Yeah, even though it's not. Even though you can say it's not down to him completely why you're in this position because the board, but you need to remember how much influence and say he has over who comes in and who doesn't.
Also, with all the injuries to all the key players and stuff like that, you think he should be gone this season?
Listen, if you keep him, it's fair game because
What do
you
you
have
think?
had a lot of injuries. But what I'm saying is, how many
think
more
give him that striker.
how many more years are you going to not win something before Saliba's go to Real Madrid?
No, I think he's got
You're going to get one more year?
But,
I think he
next
has to
year
do
is the
something.
You gotta do next
last
year.
one.
Yeah, bro.
He goes into that season
Bro.
knowing.
Yeah.
Hey, see you, bro.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
I'm saying is, you don't win us this
This ain't if this ain't the last one,
Fair enough.
if this ain't the last one, I know next season's the
They have
last
to
one.
go.
That's all I know.
They have to go. You see a striker? Striker, go on.
Because
Go on.
Saliba's getting tired.
I was about to say that.
Saliba's
He'll be shipped off to Real Madrid.
Saliba's getting
It won't
tired.
be
I think-
Arteta
I
gonna
think
be all your star
you raise a good
players.
point. He has had many injuries, loads of red cards,
Yeah.
and he hasn't had a striker this season.
Yeah.
So give him a striker, let him see what he does the next season,
Yeah.
and then if he
He's-
doesn't,
he's-
you say you're gone. Lad.
After
Do you know
next
what?
season, I agree.
He's actually lucky he got injuries. Because
Yeah.
if he didn't get the
Yeah, then it's
injuries
a different
and he
one
didn't
now.
win, he'd
Yeah.
be in trouble.
No,
But because he
you're-
got the injuries,
You're
Gives
right.
him a
Don't wanna
it's
waste
giving him a
this
little
team.
bit of a
Terence
You don't
says,
want this
agree
team
with
to be wasted.
Matisse. Quest needs to be asked of Arteta, definitely. What about Maresca? You know,
I mean, we can ask him questions, but
Do
it's
you
all-
think-
But he's a parrot.
But he's a
So
parrot.
just gonna say what they say.
All they're gonna do is just replace him with another one
would
and
you-
keep doing the same
would
foolishness.
you keep him for next season, though?
I don't-
no matter what.
I honestly don't care about the manager. I'm beyond that. I'm looking at the directors I asked last season to be sacked. P45s. That's who I want sacked. Sack the directors. Get directors that want to win. Give them the ability
you wanna change
and
the
the
strategy?
control of the entire sporting. I want reshuffle of the whole sporting side of the club. And then if the manager is a byproduct of that, no problem.
So you're not attached to him like that, yeah.
Bro,
Listen,
how
listen,
can I
we-
be? What's he done? Has he won me
yeah,
something?
Spot on.
Listen,
Nah.
we haven't
You bring me some trophies?
We haven't discussed Man United yet, right? Manchester United. What would you say? I mean, the first half diabolical,
An amazing point. That's
right?
what I say.
But
Jesus.
the second half, they showed a lot of fight in that second half, didn't they?
The last 20 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and I need your views on the penalty. Wasn't.
Listen.
Now, was that a penalty?
No, it was not a penalty.
All right, you know what? Let me rephrase it. Yeah.
Would I want a penalty if it was my
Let me
team?
rephrase
Is that
it.
what you're gonna say?
How many times this season? So I'll just give my opinion straight away, and I'm sure the guys will chip in with theirs, right? I didn't think it was a penalty. I think it was what we've been seeing all season: players going down easily, diving. The referee gave it. However, what I would say, I was shocked it got overturned because all season, every time there's been one like that, and if you actually look at he gets slightly
Pulls
pulled
him,
on one.
yeah.
But the other angle, which and I don't even remember them showing that to the referee, where he pulls his shirt. Every time there's been one of those, and they've said, well, we're not going to re-referee the game. There was contact there, and they haven't overturned it. So I was surprised that they overturned it. Let's hope now.
Yeah, you want that to be the new standard, yeah.
This needs to be the consistency because I've been seeing these all season. But you didn't think did you think it was a penalty?
And no, I think it's exactly what you just said. Players are playing for penalties, and you see the way Ashley Young jumped on the floor, which is funny, right? Because a lot of the ex-players, have you seen any of the punditry? They're saying that it was a penalty.
Yeah,
it
they
should
are.
have been a penalty.
They're saying it's not.
And he
was
does
not clear and
grab him.
obvious.
Both players grab hold of Ashley Young,
Yeah.
and I think if he falls down normally, the pen might be given, but because the way he's fallen and he's dangled his leg out, it's just stupid, lad. He's tried to play for the penalty, even though he could have probably got one.
But we've
it
seen
wasn't.
that. But we've
I
seen
wouldn't
that
lie.
this season where players have dived to make it
Jota did
even
it the
more of
other
a
day, yeah.
penalty.
Jota did it the other
and
day.
they've got it.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you think there's a penalty?
I'm done with like penalty decisions and refereeing. Like I just kind of leave that to a separate category at this point. It's come to a point where we know that the standards here are not where they need to be. So like it should hopefully even itself all out. But for me,
Well, listen, they definitely remember that one that they didn't
For
get.
me,
the-
I'm just
the
like-
West Ham one. That cost Ten Hag his job in a way.
Yeah.
So at least, listen. At least I'm glad it weren't
For
given
me,
in a
it
way.
wasn't.
but-
It wasn't because the point I take about people being surprised why they actually did overturn it. I wasn't trying to hear that. I was so fixated on Ashley Young like milking it.
Yeah,
I wasn't
ex-player.
listening to the bit of like, yeah, but what we're saying is we can't believe they actually went there and went, this is wrong. So that's one thing, but it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Football's a contact sport, and people saying you can't pull people's shirts and stuff like that, but there still has to be enough contact to put you to the floor. Or, you know, a shirt pull in when there's corners and there's melees in the boxes, there's contact, people pull things. There's like this unwritten thing.
Timing,
As long as you don't pull it
it's
too long and
timing, it's
you know.
yeah.
But even just the laws of physics, mate. The guys pulled his shirt backwards and dropped forwards. Like, and you're asking the Man United fan about this, yeah? Ashley Young, that same Ashley Young move with the leg The swing out leg.
The swing out leg.
Yeah.
Oh, in front of the defender.
Swear.
He used to do that all the time.
I've seen that long time from his Aston Villa days. If you know Ashley Young, that's his number one trick shot.
That's his trick, yeah.
Leave the leg and go, he's been doing that for years. Yeah. So this whole trying to kid a kidder, just admit, he tried to oversell it. And that's what's basically, if he would have just went, I can't get to the ball. Look, they're actually pulling me. The fact you've just flung your leg out like that and gone to the floor, it's never a penalty in a million years. So, yeah, on the penalty, for me, I was tie mode. You cheat. He tried to cheat.
But you're ex-player, man.
But he tried to cheat. And people saying when he did that for you and all that. Well, that's how I know he's cheating. Yeah, and that's how I know it ain't a pen because I seen him do that for years. And you're right. But going down the wing for Man United or right back for Man United, do that one, he'd leave his leg there all the time. It's a classic Ashley Young. It didn't work. He overcooked it, and I blame Onana for even parrying the ball back into that danger area in the first place. He was shocking. Let's talk about the game, actually. For the second Everton goal as well, shocking. And listen, do you remember when it got to me on the preview? And I said, let's keep this short and sweet. Here's what's going to happen. For 70 minutes, that's what it was. It was exactly what I said would happen. We didn't have a shot on target. I don't even think we had a shot, actually, until the 70th minute. But definitely we didn't have a shot on target. We got outworked. We couldn't press. We lost all the second balls. They were more physical than us. Everything. We couldn't pass. Everything I expected to see, I saw. It was this. Amorim said after the game, we didn't exist in the first half. We wasn't even there, which is so true. And look, the reason why we got back into it was the moment of brilliance from Bruno to score the free kick. Just changed the game. It made Everton sit off. Goals change games, as they say. We started to have the ball a little bit more. Garnacho changed the game as well. That's his best position for us, I think, coming off the bench and impacting games because he gives defenders something else to think about. And when they're tired and not quite at it, he just makes things happen because he just runs at people. One wins a couple of fouls. Dorgu looked all right. It's no surprise that the first player that the manager's actually bought to say you fit my team, he looks all right. But the rest, I mean, Bruno, listen, for all...
No, Ugarte, good goal.
Ugarte gets his first goal for the club. Great time to get it because we was, again, in the pits of hell. Good strike, great finish, which I didn't see coming. And it was weird because even as we scored them goals, like, obviously I celebrated, but it wasn't... I still felt like, just look at us, man. Like, just...
Look what we've become.
Look at this. Like, Harry Maguire in that passage of play for the second goal, defending high, so that's a red flag. But that's the demands of what we want to do. Can't do it. Couldn't sort his feet out to turn his body for the run of Beto. Mazraoui comes across. Maguire sprints back in, gets back to Harrison, gets spun so he can't get a block. Then flipping Onana does it. You know, like in netball when you spike the ball, you hit it up ready for someone to. Yeah. He's playing netball on the beach, not netball, volleyball. Sorry, spikes it up. Then Maguire can't jump high enough because the Corey's got just laughable. Then their first goal, we had 5 attempts to clear that ball. Five attempts. Not shocking. One of them idiots could just clear the danger.
Shocking.
Headering it back into danger. Head it straight back down.
That was crazy.
And then it's just so calamitous. So we are very lucky to get a point. I'll take that point all day. I would have bitten your hand off for a point. But performance-wise and where we're going, it's exactly the same.
You get to that point where you know where you're going to finish. It's going to be mid-table. Yeah. It's not going to amount to anything. It's going to be the most forgettable season in
It's
history.
just the cups. Just bring on the Fulham and the FA Cup. We can see our pathway now in the Europa League. We've been kept away from Tottenham. I didn't think that was going to happen. So, you know,
do you think you can do like a proper run on the Europa League without Diallo?
Yeah, that's a big
Probably
miss,
not.
man.
I don't know.
Do
you know what it is?
Such a big
because
miss.
do you know what it is? Because we've got a track record of like being crap, total crap, but picking up some trophies along the way. I have to get invested. That's all I got.
Well, I'm going to ask you.
Imagine you qualify for the Champions
That's
Especially
nasty work.
Let me ask you this.
Imagine you qualify for
Especially,
I will be if we qualify for the Champions League, none of you lot talk to me.
Especially,
I tell you that.
especially, yeah.
Unless it's to work out where we're going on away
Some
days.
qualifications.
Yeah. Unless it's you want to go Bernabeu, I'll take Allianz. Where you want to go? Where you want to go? Unless it's talking about what we got in the thing. I don't want to.
I've got one last question for you on the United thing, right? Especially with Ahmad being out.
Yeah.
Do you regret now letting Rashford go?
Nah, I don't. And I knew this would happen. Do you know why I don't? I can only speak for me. I've done all the prep around this. I said, Villa, that's going to be a good move. He's going to run around. He's going to try. I know. And then what's going to happen is he's going to get assists. He's going to whatever.
And they play with a left winger.
Yeah, exactly. Natural left winger. And then everyone's going to start going, see, he's got more assists than your whole team already. Shouldn't have let him go, stupid Amorim. Oh, look at Anthony. Oh, no,
Environments.
No. Both things can be right at the same time.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford needed a new challenge, and this is why. He was at Man United and had the chance to do that. Turn it around, run around, but it became stale. It's like breaking up with somebody, and in their next relationship, they're thriving. Does that mean I have to come back to you? No, let them go. It's time. Yeah. And I'm pleased for Rashford. I don't, like I said, I don't want to see the man fail. I don't want to see that. So he's got the bit between his teeth.
Sure, you're not
he's
like,
exciting them. Put the money up. Put the money up so I can rebuild my squad.
Sure,
please.
it's not like when you're breaking up in a relationship
and you regret it.
You see them thriving and then you're crying.
Nah, it's not that. It's not that for me anyway. It's not. I was at peace with that. I knew he was going to do well. At
Rashford's been at Man United for
It's too long.
Yeah, no, listen.
It's been nearly a decade. It's not like we ain't give him a try.
Right, he didn't come for 2-3 seasons.
Yeah,
it was
man.
his whole year.
Let me get some of these super chats. Common Sense says, what is the next narrative for Arsenal fans to slander Liverpool, Robbie? I'm not slandering them. They deserve to win the title. They've been absolutely brilliant.
Fair play, Robbie.
Philip says, Raheem the Dream to Pussio with low esteem. Collapses
crazy.
more than KG's diet. Bigging up a move with more chest than Matitis. Sterling is a waste man. He doesn't like Sterling. Bert Yes says, did Matisse see Ingrid Landmark Tangervold compete this weekend?
Funnily enough,
I think you can see by his response that is a no. But if Chelsea keep playing like how they're doing, he might become an Ingrid fan and be watching her every week. Me as well. Woodsy said, just been the crazy season 4 United lads. MB Tai, My Tai says, everyone crying over a striker. Let me remind everyone, in October, Arsenal's chance creation was poor. This has been coming. Sayers says, cannot wait for Man United versus QPR next season. By the way, Flex's review was top about bowling and other games. About the bowling and other games.
Yeah, because then man went bowling, team bonding during the thing.
We did that
during
as well.
the week, and they came back like that.
We did that as well.
Russian oligarchs spoiled and entitled brats, says Carl Bates. Well, the Russian oligarchs are not there no more.
Why are we entitled for clocking that our club is running poorly, don't have a front of shirt sponsorship, haven't made Champions League still under this ownership? Why are we entitled for pointing that out and realising that we're being hoodwinked?
Yeah. Fireside says, Bruno Fernandes, we do not deserve him. I'd be devastated if he leaves, but can anyone blame him? And Alexander Olsen says, no Arsenal player in the top G goal scorers this season. That's true. Second, by the way. I know that. Green Home says, I knew Odegaard was out of confidence when he let Sterling take that free kick at the end of the game.
What was that all about?
I know.
That was madness, that.
Slot, mind you, Odegaard's not very good on free kicks. Slot has been brilliant. Give him his flowers. And, Regan says, I thought for a minute, that was AGT's girl now. Even messaging Tegan, messaging in on us. He probably got her on our case as well.
Alex would tell her to do that. I'm telling you. Get on the chat, babe.
But Regan makes a very good point here. He says, we blame the refs, but the players diving doesn't help. And that is true, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Zoheb says, thoughts on Carragher saying that AFCON isn't a major. Insert Sol Campbell quote here. Is it a colour thing?
Yeah, is it though? Is it a colour thing?
Right. Listen, he was out of order for saying
that.
Yeah,
big up to Mike.
Yeah, they had to shut him down, man.
He's out of order, yeah.
Yeah, he's just acting like it's obviously saying it's not a big deal. So his point was that his point was that Mo Salah's basically not going to get recognised like for the Ballon d'Or, or it's harder for him to do it because Egypt aren't going to win the World Cup and you don't play in the Euros, and AFCON's basically nothing.
Yeah, but you don't need to win the World Cup to win the Ballon d'Or. How many times have we looked back,
100%.
like going back through all the Ballon d'Or winners? None of them have really won the World Cup apart from Messi.
He was actually making a good point that he ruined. Right, because it is true. Because he plays for Egypt.
They might not win major honours.
No, but forget the major honours. He don't get the recognition he deserves because he's Egyptian.
Yeah,
let's be real.
100%.
If that guy was European, he would be getting more recognition.
It's a silly thing to say because
no, but I think it's more than that. I think not just because he's Egyptian. Because if he was Greek.
Yeah, he's African.
He's
African.
I think what he's saying is because he's not going to play for a nation that is going to win a World Cup
or get to the latter stages.
That's a fair part.
And so that was one bit because he's like, he might not get, but then
that's fine. But you don't
then he tried to downplay how important AFCON is.
When
Messi wins the Copa America, man ain't saying nothing.
Exactly, and that's what I want about.
They all literally sit on the same level.
Yeah,
They're all continent competitions.
That's the point.
So they can't
play.
None of them can be more important than the other. It's
and
impossible.
if you want to know what it means, right? You only had to watch the last AFCON, which was brilliant, by the way, right? When Ivory Coast won it and what that meant to the players and the people of that country.
100%.
It was incredible. I never
But it's
seen
very
nothing like
snobbish.
it.
I'll call it snobbish. Is that Europeans or whatever, you live in your own bubble, you think, oh, what we care about or what means the most to us must be, it's the same for everybody else. It's like with the Super Bowl, world champions. Like,
No, you're champions of America.
Same logic.
It is.
No, there are people in Africa and people in Asia and other parts of the world that don't care about what you care about.
Exactly.
They care about what they care about.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
The way to put this is some of the best players that have ever played in the English Premier League, Mo Salah, Drogba, Mane, Mahrez, they're all African.
Yeah,
so how can that competition be bad
100%.
if they're some of the best players that have ever played?
Exactly.
Stupid.
If more African players played for their native countries,
Yeah.
That competition
see how
would
good
be
France is
big.
then after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See
Even
what
us.
Big.
See how good the Euros is then without all these man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jordan Evans says, saying it ain't Arteta's fault because we ain't got strikers. He's had 5 seasons to sort it out and chose Havertz and Marine, I think he meant to say. Even if January he wanted a striker, he didn't get one. He had 7 other windows. Alexander Olsen says, Slot inheriting a title-winning side, yet deluded fans praise this egghead, Lex Luthor, looking pancake like Salah ain't carrying the man's whole season. That's very unfair. He's done brilliantly.
That's some
Nobody expected Slot to do what he's done this season. We've got to give him his flowers. Jono says, Don Robbie, by the miracle, Arsenal makes the Champions League final. Will you be taking the panel and production to Munich, to the Munich football arena final? If they make the final, I'll bring you, Jono. Right, I'm telling you. If we make the final, I'll bring you. Honestly, we ain't making enough.
We ain't going anywhere.
I'll bring Matisse. Joel HM88 said, conceded the Premier League to Liverpool. They deserve it. Arsenal are just not good enough. No forwards, no backup, no firepower. Disappointed. If we don't address this issue, Arsenal will forever be number 2. Red 5 says, Scars, AWB and Bowen were class. Second again, Aloy. He's obviously a West Ham fan. They were very good, by the way. Oliver says, Matisse, you saying Jorgensen isn't good enough because of one mistake is shambolic.
No.
He's unlucky, but you Chelsea content creators need something to rant about.
Yeah. Okay. Listen.
As he goes on another rant.
The initial point is we needed a goalkeeper that would absolutely send Sanchez to the mountains. Right? Not be competition, not be maybe he comes in, maybe he doesn't, allowing the manager to actually keep Sanchez as his first choice and continue to make errors. We needed a top goalkeeper. Jorgensen is not a top goalkeeper yet. He might become a top goalkeeper. He might have potential, but he isn't that yet. So because of that, we're not going to be competing at the level that we should. It doesn't mean that he's it's not really about him. It's about the overall ideology of recruiting the way we do. That's what it is.
Woodsy says, Bindi Kazi, not crazy, for United lads. Okay. And Sadita, last one, says, Robbie is still salty. Get over it, man. Liverpool are better. Now, then, forever. You will always be third best in England forever. Have I been salty?
No, you haven't, to be fair.
And we're second best, so shut up.
Right,
let's...
Did you really just do that?
Right. And MVP of the show, in last place, 9% is Matisse. No, it's not, it's me. Right? Matisse on 11%, Flex on 11%, with a massive 67%, it's Doyle. They have not put in, I don't see here the sausage of the week, but I think I can confidently say that I got it.
No,
what's the percentage?
Been sent it by the
sausage of the
earlier. 84% for Don Roboff. for the
Is
sausage
that a new record?
of the week. It must be.
I love
and
that.
that was a little while ago.
Someone got a 90% one time.
Is it? And to be fair, I don't know if production can get on this, but this was they finished there at 83%. 7% Matisse.
Do you know what I love about this, by the way? You know, sausage is like a Scouse insult. I love how it's infiltrated this show and now become a staple part. Everyone in Liverpool's been going, "You sausage" for about 20 years.
He brought it down with him, man.
Yeah, he did. That's
actually where it came from. He brought it on
There you go. The whole show's turned into a Scouse fest. Man.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Off the heads.
I finished last on sausage of the week.
Oh, you did?
3%.
Right. All right, listen, don't forget, you can become a member and watch exclusive bits here on DR Sports. So if you're not yet become a member, lots of behind-the-scenes stuff. Crazy things happen behind the scenes. So you want to check it out. But once again, I want to thank Matisse. Thank you, Flex. Abby, get well soon. Yeah. AGT, stay where you are. And Doyle, big up yourself for coming on today. And don't forget, we'll be back on Thursday. Actually, it's going to be loads of games.
For the Wednesday, we should have done just really quick prediction. Because there's some big games.
Yeah. All right, let's
just
quickly.
Just quick.
Let's real quick. Let me just get the fixtures up.
And just say the score. Don't go mad. Just
I won't go through everyone, but we just do some. Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal.
Ooh. You're getting licks. They're going to bounce back as well.
I'll go
2-0. No, 2-1 Forest.
I'll go 1-0 Forest.
1-1.
2-1 Arsenal.
You don't
Manchester United versus Ipswich.
This is the one. This is the game of the round.
Game of the round.
1-1 Man United.
1-1.
1-1 Man United. Because you're going to get a point. Because you're going to equalise or something, yeah.
3-0 United, a Rasmus Højlund hat-trick.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I think you win it.
I don't know, man.
2-1 Man United.
I think it's going to be a draw.
United 2.
Yeah, I like 2-1.
Okay, Liverpool versus Newcastle United.
3-1 Liverpool. They never beat us. They haven't beat us there for 25 years. Touch wood. And we are on flying form at the moment after that game. So
I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
Newcastle dropped their guard against Forest as well. It's moving.
It's sacked.
Dress
Dress rehearsal.
rehearsal.
And they're just getting a bit nervous.
Dress rehearsal, yeah.
Liverpool will win. 3-1.
I think it'd be tight. 2-1 Liverpool. Where's Chelsea? Chelsea versus Southampton.
Surely, Matisse.
If you lose this game,
2-0 win. I'm not talking about this.
I agree.
2-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
If we don't win this
3-0,
game.
they're terrible.
2-0.
Just play like you did in that first half. You'll be outside.
Brother, if we don't win this game, I am going to fuck up everything. I'm telling you now.
Well, even if you draw.
All studios I walk into post this game are getting destroyed. Robbie, I hope you have insurance. If we don't win this game.
Because you said that.
Don't even have me on the show. Don't even have me on the show on Thursday.
I'm not on Thursday as well.
After him saying that 2-0 to Chelsea. Don't even
have me on the show.
What have you got?
2-0 Chelsea.
All right, what Tottenham got? Tottenham got Man City.
Tottenham will beat them. They'll beat them at home.
Where does
I
it
think
at
they'll
home.
beat 'em. At home.
They'll beat them.
Yeah.
Tottenham, what's that? 3 in a row now?
Yeah.
They've won? In the
I
league?
think Tottenham will beat them as
Tottenham
well.
mashed them up, man.
3-1.
2-0.
2-1. There you
3-1.
go, Matisse.
Tottenham.
Man City ain't winning that.
I'll go with a 2-2.
All right, one more. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa.
Ooh.
Villa. 2-1.
Palace not that good at home, but good away.
2-1.
I'll go with a 1-1.
Villa 2-1.
I'll go with the Palace. Palace 2-1. They've been playing pretty decent stuff, Palace. Actually, this is the last for the world.
Yeah. Good game.
I'll just say win or lose. Brighton versus, because they're all good games. Brighton versus Bournemouth. That's a great game.
Brilliant game.
Brighton doing all right now.
That's a good game.
Bournemouth.
That's a great game.
Bournemouth lost to that is a bad result.
3-2 Brighton.
2-1 Bournemouth.
1-1. That's a bad result.
2-2.
10 minutes.
2-2.
Yeah.
Wolves versus Fulham. Another good game.
1-0 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves.
Wolves are going to win.
Yeah, I'll go 1-0 Wolves as well.
2-1 Wolves.
And here's another good game. Brentford versus Everton.
Oh, yeah.
Game hard to call.
That's very hard to call that.
It's away.
Draw.
Everton away.
2-2.
1-1.
Wait, who's at home?
Brentford.
I'll give them a win then. I'll go 2 on it.
Brentford on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll go 2-1 Brentford. And finally, probably the hardest game to call out of all of them that I've just named, West Ham versus Leicester.
Nah, West Ham will win that.
West Ham will be fine.
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham.
Fresh off the
Mighty
win at the
Irons.
Emirates.
Yeah, careful. 1-0. Right, so listen, that concludes the show today. Thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget, we will be back here on Thursday. We'll be looking back at those games and also looking ahead to the FA Cup games at the week. I might even be here.
I'm not even
Nothing,
here.
no point.
Right. You want to go Dubai?
See you on Thursday. See you go.
Don't blame me, fam.
Stop bringing me on when we lose or draw, lad, yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting ready, bro. DMXXL, unlist that video, bro. End the stream day. Man sent the ball to Jerusalem. Don't end it, fam. Don't end it, fam.
Yeah, stay humble, yeah?
I'm in the car park.
I understand the model. Don't go anywhere.
James, man scored. Man. You didn't have it, black. You didn't have it.
Go away.
How can I say anything other than it's a good day?
In a split, man United.